times, saw a lot of good things, saw a whole lot of really bad things. We've got to get better in a lot of areas. We're going to get our ass beat next week. I mean, and, it's a good team today. I'm glad we won the state championship. Goal number one for our team was win the state. We played Southeastern Louisiana, and we played Louisiana Lafayette on the schedule, and goal number one for the coaching staff and our staff manual this summer we went over it was win the state. And we got that done, and we're going to celebrate that tonight. Goal number two for us is win the conference. If we don't get better real fast, we got no shot. Like, no shot. And so we got a lot of work to do. I'm very disappointed in our defense in a lot of ways. I'm a little sick over it. We got a long way to go. I'm proud of some of the individual efforts. I'm proud of the team for fighting, but I'm just not pleased with maybe how clean we're playing on defense at times, and I'm not accustomed to that, and we're going to get it fixed. But kickoff return, interception return, you do those two things, you should never lose. And we still made it interesting because we are self-inflicting too many DPIs. I think we had 5 on the day. That's atrocious. A couple of them were good calls. I'm not going to sit here and debate them. A couple of them were awful on our end. 1 or 2, I don't know, but some of them we were too handsy, and we got to clean that up, and it's got to happen fast. We got to play probably better in the throw game on offense. We ran the ball really well. Some of the things they were doing dictated us to run the ball. I mean, you're going to play with your post safety and single high at 15 yards and quarters both safeties at 12 or 14. You should run it. Mekhi Hughes had a really good day. Not surprised. He's a little under the weather. Would have probably gone for more, but was a little under the weather today. Wasn't quite 100% just health-wise. Wasn't feeling his best, but still, he's a grown man. He plays like it. And I really thought we did a good job getting Ty Thompson involved in the offense in some different ways, and I think that's going to continue to grow. So with that, we'll open it up.
The penalties hurt the defense in the first half, but everything kind of fell apart defensively in the third quarter. What were you seeing out there?
Yeah, they did a really good job of scheming up some things and some holes in a certain coverage we were in a couple times. Familiarity. Our staff has played these guys the last 3 years now, so they've seen our defense as much as anybody, and we have to adapt a little when we play somebody that's seen us this much and maybe tweak some things. We also, communication on the back end weren't quite as clean as we need to be on whether we're matching some stuff on some over routes or waving or deep like crossers, dropping it off. So we got to clean some of that up. They did a good job of holding some stuff for this thing. I felt like they held some pass concepts, didn't run in the first half, 4 in the second. We're just not playing clean, man. Like back end wise, and then at times we're in the quarterback's face, we're just not getting him down too. We've had 2 or 3 that we're right there in position to get a sack. We just got to finish the play, but. The long run right after the kickoff return was just a misfit defensively. Kind of a first-level guy not quite getting as far as we'd like for him to get, and a second-level guy not falling back off the action as fast as we'd like. So that long run was just us not fitting right. But I'm going to watch the tape probably tonight on the ride back, and we've got like 500 things to fix on defense. I think we only played 70 plays or something. So I don't know the exact number of plays, but it played 62 plays, and I can think of a lot of things we got to fix.
Jon, how do you think, were the conditions a factor? Did you think about that during the game, considering how hot it was? Is that part of your all's run game?
Yeah, conditions were most certainly a factor. It was hot today. I mean, really hot. This was very similar to our Tuesday practice, except for we were off the field by 10:30, so it wasn't quite this hot. The humidity was probably about the same. I think it affects you to a great deal. I think for us, our plan going in is run the football, control the clock, try to tire them out. I think if you can control line of scrimmage in a game like this, you want to have explosive plays, but being able to run the football and grind out the run game and make them stay on the field really, I think, plays to your advantage on both sides of the ball. It helps your defense out. So without question, our game plan, key number one, like our 3 keys to victory, I have 3 keys every week to win a game. It's not always the same. Key number 1 this week was win the run game. Like we had to win the run game to win the game, and we did. And I felt like it was going to fit the environment for sure with the heat.
You spent a lot of time working the officials. Were you trying to find out if your technique was wrong? Or?
Well, on a couple of them, yeah. Like a couple of the DPIs I thought were right. A couple of them I had questions. And then there were a couple of no calls on some stuff on the other side that I'm like, that's pretty obvious. Like a couple, like the grounding, they weren't going to call. It went to the review.
Right.
I'm like, I could see the ball mark where the ball.
It landed right by your feet.
Yeah, it was like a half yard behind. Like the ball mark, the little black pebbles flew up. I'm like,
Did you request?
well, I was on them. I don't know. I didn't request. I wasn't gonna use the timeout to review it.
Right.
But I was like telling them, y'all need to look at that. Like that's pretty glaring, and I think they, got the message. But there was just a number of things that, look, officiating's not perfect, never is going to be. But there were some things I felt like I just wanted clarity on. And I know all those guys. Those are Sunbelt guys. I like them.
Yeah.
That's a great, really good crew. Now, those guys have had me a few times, and so they know how to deal with me. If you work a game that as an official that I'm coaching, they know that I'm gonna talk to them because I just want information.
On a day with the miscues of trying to work through all that, his kickoff return,
Yeah.
rather, how big is that just to give you some breathing room?
Well, it's huge. You go into the halftime, and we're up 4, and it makes it a 2-score game, and it's just kind of like momentum. You talk about wanting to go down and get points on the first drive. Well, there you go. You get on the opening kickoff. How about that? Like, and Ray Sean, man, has worked so hard. Like, he's such a tremendous worker. He gives great effort. He's a great teammate. He's got a really bright future. This was really his first week being the full-time kickoff return because of injury to Shotty. I think Shotty will be back, but I'm not going to call Shotty tonight and tell him that he lost his job by being out, but we'll see because that was a pretty impressive return. And it was definitely a game-changing, momentum-changing play for sure. Now we go back and give him a long run right after it, which was just dumb by us on the fit, but we'll get better. But big-time play by Ray Sean. And, I say all the time, guys that work really hard kind of, usually they play pretty good. Well, he's been working really hard. And he's had a great summer, and, he gets everything he deserves because he works really hard at it.
And then Genshu's interception right before the half, that made you 3 interceptions for the year, 3 touchdown returns.
How about that? Yeah. Jack had 2 big plays, that one and then the hit that he had. That was a grown man hit. Like, he laid the wood there. Jack's got to be a little cleaner in some area coverage stuff. He got a little too nosy a couple times. He's got a really bright future, too. Smart kid, talented kid, big-time upside. Big play by him, though. It's a huge play right there going to the half to get that pick 6 for sure.
I don't know if you believe in, like, intangibles and stuff, but, I mean, this was a tough game, right? I mean, you're going on the road, you're playing the rest of the team, you all come off 2 big-time opponents. I mean, is this the kind of thing you just want to survive and get out here with a win? I know. No,
there's something, like, to me, our team's been tested. I don't worry about us needing to, like, get a test. I'm just, right now, are we playing detailed enough, disciplined enough to win the next one? That's where my mind's at. Like, we're a tough group. I like the culture of the locker room. I like the guys we got. We just have to start playing with better detail and better discipline. And we're gonna give a game away here that we shouldn't. And I'm proud of the fight, and I think we have a culture that's gritty and tough and blue collar. But we just got to play better football at times, and it's got to happen fast.
He even had missed the last field goal, but he made the others and kicked off really well, which clearly we saw what the difference that was too.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about his performance?
Well, their number 21, the running back, is a dude returner. Mm-hmm. Not a good returner. He's one of the best in the country last year. Okay, like I think he might have led the country in kickoff return average last year. So touchbacks are huge when you're playing that kind of return guy. And then field goals and extra points, he's been handling it well. He missed them at the end. If he makes that, probably puts the game on ice. He's a true freshman that, when we brought the 2 true freshmen in, him and Durkin, the plan was really to see which one could go win the kickoff job. Well, Durkin's been down a little with a slight injury. And then Barnes goes down. I think Jacob will be back next week. I think there's a chance Durkin could be back too. But both of them were out today and we knew that for sure as of about Thursday. And so he had to kick field goals, and last week his first extra point attempt was less than desired. When he came off, I told him, I said, hey, good news is it can't get any worse. And I thought he responded pretty well last week, and then this week, he made a big field goal there, missed that one at the end. Was definitely long enough, just a little left. He boomed it. I mean, he kicked it solid, but it just a little left, and he'll bounce back. He's a resilient kid, but I thought he performed well today.
Do you have any trouble with cramps or anything?
We had 4 IVs at halftime. Fourth quarter, several cramps. Second quarter, 1 or 2. Right? You typically get them second quarter, fourth quarter. We had 2 or 3 guys lock up at different times. Rishi on a kickoff that we didn't play a ton of snaps, but sometimes those long kickoffs, he wasn't sure if he's cramping or pulled a muscle for a second there. 4 IVs at halftime, I think, which is not outrageous on a day like this.
You didn't? No IV for you?
No IV. I got my own fluid that I'll drink later. Yeah.